Gentlemen, we're coming towards the end of the show already. There's so much information here. Luke, I got to tell you, you're blowing our minds over here with your thought processes. The fact that you're adaptable in your approach and that you don't believe there's a formula for everyone, that you have to change and adapt, that you recognize the visual, the audio, the kinesthetic. You do all of those things. It's brilliant because a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people don't do that.
They got their A to Z, they do it, and if you help 1 out of 100 people, you're a lucky guy. But when you're adaptable, you can help a lot. The question I have for you is when should somebody call you? When should somebody look up hypnosis? I mean, is it when they are in dire straits, or should this be for maybe people who have started on the path of recovery but are becoming very unstable and they need somebody?
Well, we're just talking about recovery, but there's other things that I think that Luke does. Probably people have afraid of flying. People have different things like that going on, anxiety, depression. So hypnosis really works for a lot of things, but you're doing more than hypnosis. Okay, so you're doing a lot of other things that combine, just like what I do, the same thing. I never found one shoe fits everybody anyway.
For sure.
So, what I looked at, Luke, and I know we're coming to the end of the show. I want to give you some information and stuff because you seem like the same as me. Is that you want to be a student so you can be a good teacher. You need to look medically at people too. We got to ask them those questions. They can have a low thyroid. They can have leaky gut syndrome. They can have H. pylori infection, hypoglycemia, closed head injuries, heavy metal toxicity. All of these things cause depression and anxiety. So whether we do hypnosis with them or we give them Prozac or some other stuff, right? It's really not going to work very well because you have a medical condition that's counteracting that. And if the second brain is the gut. You don't treat the gut, you're out of luck. Look it up. I always tell people, please don't believe a word I tell you. Go look it up for yourself. Because that's the only way. People don't believe anything anybody says anyway. So, it's real simple stuff. But, I don't know if you're already looking at that, but if I were you might want to consider that because that's how your work improves. That's how my work improves. So maybe you might want to take a look at that.
Absolutely. And just to answer your question before, Scott, the first time someone should call me, the best time is as soon as the problem starts. No one ever does, by the way, because it's not a problem.
They only call you when they're falling off the roof.
Yeah.
They go, can you help me? Yeah, well, wait a minute, you already fell. I can't help you.
The best time is when it started. No one ever does that. The second best time is now to break the loop, because every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year you wait, it gets more ingrained into neurology.
Well, you're training your brain is what you do. Your brain seeks pleasurable levels. And what you're doing, you're actually training your brain to do all this. You know who's really good that you may want to consider? I watch him. I was really impressed also, just like I'm very impressed with you. Dr. Joe Dispenza. You ever see him or hear him?
Yeah, he's very popular now, isn't he, Joe? He's everywhere. People love
He's excellent. And he tells you how thoughts, the same thing we're talking about, you and I. But he takes it, he's a neuroscientist, and he takes it from the beginning all the way through how to change your mind. And you're doing the same work, how to change your mind. So, it's training. What you're doing is retraining the brain. And it takes time. Everybody looks for a quick fix. Listen, guys, I don't know what Luke does or I do, but there is no quick fix. You got to work at this stuff, and that's just the bottom line. It took years to develop this. It takes time to undevelop it and create a new way of life. How much time? It's up to you.
So I'd like to, before we wrap up, there's a question I always like to ask people. And John, you answer this question all the time about why you do what you do. And it's in your book, The Kid from
the South Bronx That Never Gave Up.
Kid from the South Bronx That Never Gave Up. Great book. Check it out at johnjerrygiordano.com. But